Good day, beloveds. So I had another download this morning, early this morning around 3 o'clock, and I wanted to share it with you all. I'm going to give you this little piece of information first so that you understand why this stuff is probably coming to me. So it's been about 2 years now. I'm in my 30s, and I have not had a normal menstrual cycle, which is to say that I learned that when you get your body under 20% body fat, that the female menstrual cycle, you still have it as far as you ovulate and you're still able to have babies, but you do not bleed. So basically, I have not bled during my menstrual cycle in about 2 years. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and so I've experimented with myself through the means of diet and sleep and thoughts, emotions. All of those things go into keeping the blood clean. So I was able to do it. As a result of me keeping the extra blood instead of losing it month after month, it has increased the current inside of me, which when currency is increased, then also comes with heat. And heat is given out by objects that attract light. So when an object like a black hole attracts light, it gives off that light in the form of heat, such as our sun. So essentially, we are souls, which is the Spanish word for sun. We are suns. And particularly, this video is about our heart, because the heart is extremely valuable in ways that you cannot imagine, which is why, which is what this download was about. So as soon as I had like a hot flash, I'm getting to understand that these hot flashes are signals and signs, and they mean the information is coming in through tides or through waves. That's why they call them heat waves. But basically, this information would normally come to an older woman, which is why when women get older, they are often referred to as wise women. And it's because they are retaining their blood flow, which gives them higher a higher current, or currency flows faster through their blood, through their bodies, through their veins. And they get insightful information in. And it's usually like around maybe late 40s or 50s, but I'm in my 30s. And so apparently some of my ancestors have made some tremendous sacrifices to bring this information to me at a younger age, and to allow me to understand what I know about the body in order to receive this information and share it with you. Because if there's anything that you can do, it is that you can heal generational curses. And by that I mean you can actually heal what has kept your ancestors trapped on this frequency for all of these generations. However many generations it's been, it may not have been long. The fall could have been recently, who knows. But if you could go back and tell your younger self something, you should tell it to your kids or your descendants, because they are your younger selves. You have the same blood coursing through your veins that they have coursing through theirs, at least partly. So information is not just passed through talking, like I'm talking to you right now. Information is passed through sunlight, it's passed through feelings, emotions, it's passed through bloodline, it's passed through your genes. Information is passed through just a look or symbols. They're passed through words. There's so many different ways that information can get to you, is what I'm trying to say. And you don't know the sacrifices that your family members have made in order to get you this information, which is why you need to take some things a little bit more seriously than others and prioritize what's important to you here right now. But to get to my download, I had a hot flash, and in the midst of this hot flash, I realized that it was trying to wake me up and tell me something, because it happens around the same time every single night. And normally I fight it and just go back to sleep. Lately, what I've been trying to do is learn how to move the energy through my body so that I can utilize it when I need to. As hot flash is also another way of saying your kundalini is rising. So in the midst of this hot flash, I started paying attention to what it was trying to say. So I was waking up out of my sleep, and the minute that I tapped into this hot flash, I had an image of a spark, and then the cell phone and the heart. All of these things like flashed in my mind as pictures, but I received tons of information just from those pictures. So the saying that a picture says 1,000 words is so true. Basically, I've been going back and watching all of the Avenger movies over again in sequence, and it was so stunning to me that Tony Stark was still using a flip phone. And I was like, a lot of the billionaires, millionaires don't walk around with smartphones. They carry flip phones. And I was like, and I'm sure it's a reason for that. But at the time, I didn't know. Well, in this download, it showed me that cell phones, computers, televisions, pretty much any electronic device, or what we call AI, artificial intelligence, anything that can communicate signals, it interferes with the rhythm of the heart. And this is why Tony Stark was carrying a flip phone, because he was having heart issues when the piece of metal got trapped in his heart. So he could not have anything that would interfere with it. And it was like a aha moment. But it went on to say that, so the heart is in charge of rhythm, and when something has a rhythm, it creates a frequency. Your heart is controlling the frequency in which you live in, which means that frequency controls thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So all of these phones, even the one I'm on right now communicating with you, they can control the frequency of your heart and of your universe. When you look at it in a deeper way, unless you protect yourself, you can have something like this on, black obsidian or amethyst. There are a lot of different stones and crystals, and when you see people with stones and crystals, you think they're crazy. Well, actually, there's a deeper intelligence at work and at play there, and that's because they understand that these stones and crystals can protect them from frequencies that they can't see. There are threats around you that you don't see, and most of the time, it is what you can't see that is the biggest threat. Obviously, if you can see it, then you can probably detect it. But many times you can see it and not even know that it's a threat at all. So there are many things that are in disguises. And what this was saying was that your cell phones, they're basically tapping into the rhythm of your heart. And your heart is, it releases these electromagnetic currents, okay? And these currents can keep you in a certain state of mind. And this is why in MOTH, they have the weighing of the heart against the feather and ask if the heart is lighter than the feather. Then if it is, then you can enter, the kingdom. And if it's not, then basically you're going to be trapped. And this is also playing into what is the series of Lucifer. I don't know if any of you have watched that, but basically it shows that what a person's hell is created by them. The turmoil and the struggle that they have, that it's created by their own thoughts even in the movie it said, or the one of the shows, it says the door is open at any time for you to leave, but people stay because they don't know their power. They don't know the power of their own mind and how it can trap them and keep them in a cycle of going through whatever it is that they dread or hate, or even that they're feeling guilty about, or haven't forgiven themselves for, or haven't forgiven someone else for. It becomes your own. What you hold against another person becomes your own weight. And that's why forgiveness is so important, because it weighs you down. And we're all here because something is weighing us down. You must get to the bottom of whatever is weighing you down. What feeds into your guilty conscience? What is allowing you to stay grounded? Because the heart is the sun. But what happens when a sun dies? It creates a lot of density. When a star dies, it generates a lot of lead. And lead is the heaviest element, okay? Once a star starts creating lead, then it can no longer support its own weight. And you are dying stars. When you stop laughing, singing, and dancing, you are weighed down by something. And it is to your best interest to tap in and find out what that is. Because that is keeping you from rising in frequency and being able to escape the prison that you've created for yourself. I also wanted to interject really quick and say that you can live with brain damage, and all it affects is like your memory or maybe your personality, but what you can't live without is your heart, your heartbeat. And you'll notice that whenever someone, what we call dies in a hospital, they don't put the electricity to your brain to revive you. They put it to your heart. And this is letting you know that the heart is electromagnetic in nature, and it requires an electromagnetic pulse in order to operate all that happens inside of you. So if you remember, there are a lot of songs where they talk about the electric stars. I've posted videos of me filming the planets with my camera, which has an 80 times zoom feature, and it allows me to see very up and close and personal to the moon and planets and things that you cannot normally see with the naked eye. These are unedited videos. I give it to you raw, just like I record it. And what I've noticed is that the planets are electric in nature, and they are literally pulsating, and they have you can see it just by looking at it. And so a lot of the information that we have been taught in school or through our education has programmed the way that we see things, and it can literally make you see something different from how it presents itself naturally. So to be taught that planets are solid, I don't believe that anymore. I just can't, after what I've seen. And I will continue to post those videos on my page, unedited, and so that you can see it yourself. But I recall growing up, Chico DeBarge, I think, has a song called, what is it called? Do you feel the rhythm of the night? Worries behind. But anyway, no, I don't know if I'm getting songs mixed up or not, but in that song, it says, under the electric stars. And there are a lot of songs that talk about the electric stars. So if you know one, please post it below, because I want to go back and listen to the lyrics. And when I think of this song, I'll also post it below. But just know that stars are electric in nature. There's another song that's called It's Electric. Oh, that may not be the name, but that's the only part of it I remembered. My memory right now of that information is pushed back because I'm trying to get a message out to you. Wish that I could recall it right now. I will go back and put it once I know. But if you know, put it down below. And so I can stop repeating myself. I'll move on. So basically, just want to interject and say that so that because this actually helps paint a full picture of what I'm trying to say here about the heart and how electromagnetic energy or electromagnetism is one of the strong forces of nature, and your heart is directly connected with that. So don't underestimate how important it is, and don't underestimate what it is. So yeah, that's all I got for right now. So I'll continue with this video. So all of this information kind of came in at one time, and I try to make sense of a lot of it. It's still a lot more, but this is the first round. I didn't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what came in and how I interpreted it. And you know, I shared a lot with you all, a lot of very personal things, but I know that some sacrifices have been made for me to understand it and know it so that I can share it. So thank you for listening and watching, and there may be a follow-up to this to come. Until then, peace, love, and compassion.